Hello and welcome to Smart Utah County News at 11. I'm Becky Canning.
And I'm Kai Northville.
Yes, and wow, what a weekend we had, wasn't it, Kai?
It was.
It was quite the mix of emotions, actually. Let's go live to Kai, who's sitting right next to me, and talk about some of the things that happened.
Thank you, Becky Canning. A couple things to report on for you. One, there was an excellent retreat held by Smart Utah County up at Sundance. Very good. Kind of on the downer side, though, there appears to be an increase in Prozac use across the Wasatch Front,
Yes.
as both BYU and Utah suffered
Devastating losses!
Yeah. So, anyway, let's. We want to focus
Excuse
on
me.
the positive today, though.
Yes, let's focus on the positive. On Friday night, September 18th, there were about 33 coalition members who showed up to our coalition retreat at the Sundance Resort. And what a beautiful place it was. We'd like to take just a couple minutes now to go over some of those things that we talked about at the retreat, go over our agenda. The first thing is we had some people show. We had a lot of people show up and participate in the games, and that was fun. During the dinner, we gave out some awards, and we only had one mishap with just one misspelled name. Happened to be a legislator, but we'll just look past that. We talked mainly about the upcoming legislation that Representative Dew will be doing for us, or will be helping us out with. And there were two specific things that he asked us if we could do. Did I say Representative Dew? I meant Daw, okay? We need to make sure that coalition members are okay with the language of the bills. We need to make sure that they support the bills. And then, if willing, come to the interim committee meeting in order to testify. So those are a couple of things that we will do as a coalition in order to help out with the legislation.
After we spoke with Representative Daw about his legislation, we all broke into task forces, at least in the alcohol and prescription task force. Let me run down real quick for you what we talked about in the prescription task force, and then Becky will cover the alcohol. So, first in prescription, all of the members reported back on some of the research that they'd done over the previous month. You can refer to the minutes that I've emailed you to check out exactly what we reported. They are mainly focused on strategies and how we're going to reduce prescription drug abuse in Utah County. Secondly, there were some commitments that were made in our task force. First off, Don, Steve, and Gordon and Daryl, at least they committed to review with Dr. Lynn Webster and Kim Bateman the legislation that has been proposed by Representative Daw, and to have some suggestions back to Representative Daw before the October 21st interim committee or session, where there Representative Daw will present this legislation.
In the alcohol task force group, we had Officer Tim Hunsaker tell us a little bit more about the exhaustive DUI process that each officer has to go through when they make an arrest. This is something that we've been needing to understand, or needing all the coalition members, all the alcohol task force members to understand, so we can move forward with some of the ideas that we have. And one idea that we do have is that we want to install software into every police department or every police officer's laptops and their computers, so that it makes the DUI process much easier. Hopefully taking it from about 2 hours for an average DUI arrest down to maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. So those are some of the things we discussed. We have not made our commitments yet, but that will be coming in the next coalition meeting.
Okay, now let's move on to Saturday. Saturday we got up bright and early. Breakfast started at 7:30. I was excited about that. So we got in and had the good breakfast and moved in some training immediately. Well, actually, first we had a fun little game that Becky did, trying to count. I wasn't very good at counting, but anyway, it was fun to kind of get us going. And so the first training that we talked about is one of the big weaknesses that we have in the coalition is we're not necessarily we might not have the funding that's moving on past 2011. So we talked about creating a new organizational structure. You can refer to the minutes on everything that we spoke about. But right now you can see, hopefully on the screen, that there's this new organizational structure that we've created to make sure that we cover all of our major business functions so we can sustain our efforts past 2011. A couple of the commitments that were made or assignments given during this section was we had a couple, well, first off, the coalition did vote and we accepted this new model, this new organizational structure. It was accepted, so we're going to start using it and implementing it. And a couple people signed up for a couple different work groups that are in the model. The one we agreed that we would start up first is the Community Board Maintenance Work Group. Joanne Petrie and Kevin Schultz agreed that they would like to be part of that to help establish that. And that'll start up next, our next coalition meeting, which is the second Tuesday in October. And we'll start covering some of the responsibilities there. That'll start at 11 a.m. So, other than that, I also committed that I would start helping us find ways, a grant writer, a gentleman by the name of Rod Hopkins who will help us write a grant to get the Drug-Free Communities grant. So those are the main commitments and assignments that we had under the training on how to make SMART's efforts sustainable.
Thank you, Kai. The one other thing that we do have, or that we wanted to ask everybody, was to try to get on to Facebook and start an account there. We would hope that everybody can communicate that way through Facebook, and we decided at the coalition meeting that would probably be the best way. And you can go ahead and sign up for Facebook on our website. It will give you an instructional video on how you can sign up for it.